Hello everyone. So the next topic which we will be studying here is about the adipose tissue. So adipose tissue, which is also called as the body fat, it is very crucial for the health. So along with the fat cells, adipose tissue contains numerous nerve cells and blood vessels which store and release the energy to fuel the body and release important hormones that is vital to the body's needs. So that is what is adipose tissue known as. So now let's discuss the adipose tissue in more detail. So first we will come to the introduction. So, if I talk about the alternative name of the adipose tissue, then it is the body fat or fatty tissue, connective tissue as well. So, adipose tissue is a type of connective tissue that consists of mainly of the fat cells or adipocytes or adipose cells. They are specialized to synthesize and contain large globules of fat. So they are also known as the body fat. So that is the reason that it contains the large globules of fat within a structural network of the fibers. So it is found mainly under the skin, but also in deposits between the muscles, in the intestines, in the membrane folds around the heart and elsewhere. So it is found in a number of regions in our body. So it is basically found all over the body. So as I have told you that it can be found under the skin, around the internal organs as well, within the bone marrow and also in the breast tissue. So the men, they tend to store more fat leading to obesity around the middle of their abdomen. However, the women they tend to store more subcutaneous fats within the buttocks and the thighs. So this is the difference between the male and the female the and where is the adipose tissue mainly found in the men and the women. Now this is a diagrammatic representation which is showing the adipose tissue, and here it is a magnified view of the white adipose cells, that is the adipocytes. So these are some of the fat cells and how these fat cells look like. The next is what is the location of this adipose tissue. So it is, as I have already told you, it is also known as the body fat. So where it is found all over the body, mainly under the skin, packed around the internal organs, between the muscles, within the bone marrow, and in the breast tissue. So this part we have already discussed, that this is the location of the adipose tissue. It is found all over the body. Now, what does the adipose tissue do? What is the function of the adipose tissue? So adipose tissue is now known to be a very important and active endocrine organ. It is well established that the fat cells or adipocytes, they play a vital role in the storage and release of energy throughout the human body. So what seeing these two lines, we can say that the main role of the adipose tissue is the storage and the release of energy. So more recently, the endocrine function of the adipose tissue has been discovered. So in addition to adipocytes, adipose tissue contains numerous other cells that are able to produce certain hormones in response to signals from the rest of the organs throughout the body. So through the actions of these hormones, the adipose tissue, what does do? Adipose tissue, they play a very important role in the regulation of the glucose, cholesterol, and the metabolism of the sex hormone. So this is the action of the adipose tissue that plays a major role in these things: the regulation of glucose, cholesterol, and the metabolism of the sex hormones. Now, what are the hormones that are being produced by the adipose tissue? So there are a number of different hormones that are being released by the adipose tissue, and they are responsible for different functions within the body. So examples of these includes the arotomase, which is involved in the sex hormone metabolism, TNF alpha, IL-6, and leptin, which are collectively termed as cytokinins, and they are involved in sending signals between the cells. Plasminogen, activator inhibitor 1, and it is involved in the clotting of the blood. So where it is involved? It is involved in the clotting of the blood. Angiotensin, which is involved in the blood pressure control. Adiponectin, what it does, it improves the body's sensitivity to insulin and helps to protect different against developing type 2 diabetes. So what it does, it helps to prevent the type 2 diabetes. Lipoprotein lipase and apolipoprotein E. So what it does, it is involved in the storage and metabolism of fat to release the energy. So this is what the hormones, function of hormones that are being produced by the adipose tissue. So the next we will be discussing is about the problems that are being associated with the adipose tissue. So what are the key problems? First of all, there is obesity, because adipose tissue is linked with the fat, body fat. So obesity is one major issue, lipodystrophy, and anorexia nervosa. So these are some of the problems that can be associated with the adipose tissue. So when too much or too little of adipose tissue releases there, or when too much or too high or little adipose tissue is there, then they can have a severe health implications. More commonly, too much adipose tissue leads to obesity. So if there is a too much adipose tissue, then it will lead to the obesity, mainly from too much visceral fat. So further obesity can lead to a number of serious health problems. Obesity increases the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, as it causes the body to become resistant to insulin. So this resistance results in high level of blood sugar, which is very bad for health. Obesity also increases the chance of developing high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, and an increased tendency for blood to clot. So all of these raise the risk of heart attacks and the stroke. The next is the lipodystrophy. So when there is a lack of adipose tissue, it can cause similar problems and seen with increasing frequency as a result of medications which is used to treat the HIV and AIDS. The next disease is regarding the eating disorders. So the patient who does not eat enough food to maintain their adipose tissue level, this means that they can lose a dangerous amount of body fat. So this is what the last disorder consists of, or last problem associated with the adipose tissue consists of. So this was all about the adipose tissue. These are some of the references. Thank you.